Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's baking blog. Today I'm going to be making lemon kladdkaka. Now kladdkaka is a Swedish cake usually made with chocolate, and it's very moist and gooey inside, almost to the point of being runny for some people. But I had lemons left over from something else that I was doing, so I thought I would make a lemon version of kladdkaka, and I'm going to bake mine so that it's not gooey in the middle. I want it to be wet and soft in the middle, but I don't want it to be runny. But you can work that out depending on how long you bake things for. And it's quite straightforward, and it's all done in one pot basically. So we'll go on to the ingredients. And for the ingredients, I have in my saucepan here 150 grams of butter, which I've just melted, and that works out at just under 11 tablespoons. I have 150 grams of flour, which is 1 cup of flour and a heaped tablespoon. I have 250 grams of sugar, which is 1 1/4 cups. That I'm using caster sugar. I have 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 3 medium eggs, which would be large in the USA, the zest from 1 lemon, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So what I'm going to do is, having melted the butter, as I said, like this, the next thing to do is to put all the other ingredients into the bowl, or into the saucepan should I say, and mix them together. Now I'm actually going to start off with the sugar, and the reason for that is I want to just slightly bring the egg temperature down, so that when I put the eggs in, the butter temperature down should I say, so that when I put the eggs in it won't curdle the eggs. So then I'll add the vanilla extract and the lemon zest, and the lemon juice, and then the eggs, and I'll just mix those and pour the flour in as well. And I'm just going to mix that until it all comes together. Now I have my oven preheating at 175 Celsius, which is about 347 Fahrenheit, and I have greased and lined a 9-inch springform pan. You could use a larger pan up to sort of 26 centimeters, so 10.5, 11 inch. That will just make a thinner cake, and this is a cake which is quite thin. It won't rise very much at all, simply because there's no rising agent in it beyond the eggs, and we've not whipped any air into the eggs. Our mixture is all nicely combined, so the next thing to do is simply to pour it, and you can see it's very liquid, into the prepared cake tin. And then we're going to put it into the oven and bake it for between 18 and 25 minutes. I would probably err on the longer time, because I want my cake to set up rather than be too runny in the middle or too soft in the middle. So it should form a crust of a sort on the bottom, or a firm base, should I say, and a little crust on the top, and it will be nice and soft in the centre. So if you want to try this recipe and you want to make it, if you want a gooey centre, that's the softest centre, bake it for about 18 minutes. If you want it to have a little bit more texture to it, then bake it for about 25 minutes. So I'll put this in the oven and bake it, then I'll come back and show you the results. Our cake has baked, and I took it out of the oven and let it cool down for a few minutes before I turned it out onto a wire rack to cool completely. And so this is what it looks like, and what I've done is I dusted it with just a little bit of icing sugar for effect, because it doesn't look very pretty as it is. And as you can see, the inside of mine is set, but it's still very moist. I cooked mine for 24 minutes. If I'd have cooked it for less, then the centre would not be so set and it would be quite gooey in this middle part here. Well, I prefer it like this, so that's how I cooked mine. So we'll have a taste. And I should say that it will form a little crust on the top and the base sets nicely. And if it rises, and mine actually did, it rose a little bit more in one part than in the rest of it, because it shouldn't rise very much anyway. But mine rose up a little bit more than the rest of the cake, but in cooling it settled back down again, and that's what you would expect. So I'll have a taste of this. That tastes nice. It has that lovely lemon flavour, and it is moist. I can understand why some people would like it sort of runny, but I prefer this texture to the runny texture. So that's why I did mine like I did. So that's going to be it for this recipe, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me the thumbs up below the video and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen, as ever, there will be an eye that you can click on, which will take you to this recipe, and I'll put a link for it below the video as well. And then I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.